When you see a ship in refit, it is sometimes difficult to understand how that ship can be made into a fully efficient fighting machine. The men who will form the ship's company of that ship must be welded together into a team, a fighting team, that will be able to use the equipment in that ship to its full efficiency. And that is what Portland is all about.
The weapons electrical, sir.
I'm sure we'll enjoy reading that.
And the sea training guide for yourself, sir.
That's quite a volume, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We'll put that somewhere handy where I'll be able to read it later.
Aye, aye, sir.
But at Portland, we don't only deal with ships out of refit. We also have ships which have been with the fleet and which want to come back to Portland in order to maintain and improve their operational standards.
Roger.
Reduce speed to slow.
Slow ahead of both engines.
I think too many people are frightened of Portland, and because people are frightened of it, they tend to sheer away from it. I would be a good deal happier if I could encourage an atmosphere in the fleet where people want to come to Portland. They want to come to Portland because officers and men believe in the high standards that we aim to set, and because they believe that my staff here are anxious to try and help them achieve these standards.
From time to time, the ship is required to do a workup to bring this level of expertise in all departments, and one emphasizes all departments as opposed to just one aspect of, say, the operational side. It's just as important for the chefs and the writers, just as important for the engineers and the maintainers to get up to date on their expertise and applying their expertise as it is for the people who are firing guns or missiles or whatever.
Carter, Option, Roger, wait, out. I mean, we do devote a lot of time before the ship gets here and in her first week in harbour to point out that we're very much here to help them. And the help finding, obviously, the process tends to be to find the faults, to help the ship correct them. But the way we go about it is the important thing.
During the staff sea check, some 40 sea riders go out to the ship being staff sea checked, and the purpose is to examine the ship thoroughly in all departments and provide for the workup staff a baseline to which they can work throughout the workup. We do tell ships most carefully that the staff are here not to so much to criticise and to inspect as to help and give advice and assist the ship in working up to the high standard we expect.
You come and expect the worst. You expect to be told off for everything. Every little slip is picked up. You know, you come down virtually fearing it. You don't know what to expect, what they're going to throw at you.
Hose missing from the basket. Escape hatch. Should have escape written on it. White lettering all the way across.
When I shout off, if you can shut the flap shut straight away, yes, sir. And now we can test the system.
One, sir.
Off!
We'll now check the valves in the face mask. That one's wrong.
Right, so how are you going to adjust it?
By the motor in the back.
Right, show me where it is.
Just there.
Yep, that's the one.
How often do the electrical department test your warning bells and thermostats, Chief?
Twice a week, sir.
Good? Effective,
yes, sir.
bells?
Effective, yes, sir.
Oh, good. That's good news.
That one's low. When they last checked?
Yesterday morning.
A bit of grease deposit there, but not a great deal, but it needs to come off, all right?
Yes,
because
sir.
it can create a fire. You can get your boys on it straight away, and let's have it off.
Now, I welcome this opportunity which I've got to speak to you, which is...
The Admiral goes down to all ships when they first arrive down to Portland. They have a harbour week, and during that period,
is the time that he goes down, walks round to see how the ship is, and then finally talks to the ship's companies.
Our object is to get you, the ship's company, to work together as a team.
Right, just to put you in the picture then, whilst we're at Portland, on a Thursday evening we'll get next week's programme. The officers will take this as soon as it's on board, they'll tear it to pieces, have their management meeting, and then it's up to us to have our meeting afterwards. And we'll make a start on next week, as it's Monday the 22nd of July, 8 o'clock in the morning until 9, stage 28. Now that's section-based teams. 8:30 to 12, a communications exercise 402. That won't affect anybody else, right, Troy?
No, it's just straightforward, just one person.
Just the one, oh fine. 8:30 to 11:30, DC cable check. I don't think that's touching anybody else, Joanna. 9 till 10, communication exercise 453.
Yeah, just purely comms.
Comms again. 9 till 12, DiveX.
Now, what I want you to imagine is you're in a limited war situation. You've been at awkward state 3 for some time, and it's now been reported that swimmers have been seen leaving your ship's side. And what we want to do now is get on and carry on the ship's bottom search as quickly as possible. Surface swimmer forgot his face mask. Come back and pick it up and then carry on with the rest of the search.
Right, gentlemen, I'm sorry to have to drag you away from the comforts and luxuries of your mess, but when we get ships arriving at Portland, it is deemed necessary to talk to you very briefly.
The aim is the assistance of the ship to gain its potential that it has. The ship belongs to the captain. It's his responsibility. What we do is aid and assist by offering him very high-powered advice and comment. And he can then take it on from there and work his ship up to the standard required.
Overboard, man overboard. Away, seaboat's crew.
On your head!
Starboard 30.
Starboard 30.
6 short blasts. Watch the main sheet, Gavin.
Clear that.
Is the swimmer available?
The swimmer is available, yes, sir.
Roger.
Negative. Yes, sir. Visual there.
Although people drip and moan about workups, it's amazing how you see, especially in a good ship, how you see the morale rise, because suddenly they're beginning to realize and appreciate what it's all about.
A couple of small things I've picked up. It all started off as a ball of fire and then rapidly slowed down very quickly. You want to take charge of these lamps when they're all clanging about like that, otherwise you end up in the water and you won't be able to use them. You lost your weights because you're in too much of a hurry. It's easy to do when you get a lap of lead on and you're trying to get faster and trying to hurry all the time, and you've got to try and keep a level head as much as you possibly can. But by and large, good improvement, more teamwork needed, and you only get that through practice.
Afternoon, gentlemen. During the first week, the increase in pressure is relatively low, and then we step up the increase in pressure right the way through. And it's when the pressure first starts to come on that they think they've been doing rather well, and indeed they have. And then things get rather more difficult, and they don't do so well. And then they drop back, and that's always rather disappointing. But they pick themselves off the floor.
Although on one occasion the chance of an attack was lost through landing on the Wasp when within mortar range of a submarine, while the aircraft still had sufficient fuel remaining, sir. In general, the POU is sometimes over-aggressive without appearing to have the required experience or professional knowledge to carry it off successfully.
How much submarine time did they, in fact, have this week?
2 K6, so 6.5 hours altogether.
And next week?
None, sir.
Communications.
Yes, sir. On the tactical side, sir, the yeoman's flow of information to the command is satisfactory, though at times there are problems with the young ROs who are not keeping officers of the watch fully informed.
We also find that some of the officers of the watch are still not acknowledging their reports. Securing for sea could be improved, but briefings this week have been adequate except for the board and tow, and the board and tow conflan was also a bit of a disaster.
You speak English?
He's got his chums around anyway. Where is the fire in your ship?
Fire here forward.
Up forward.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sending one of my men to take a look at it.
Good. I have men up there looking at already. What looking is no good. One must do something.
A fire exercise on any ship is a very frightening experience for anybody. It is the hardest of the problems we have to deal with at sea, whether it be on our own ship or whether it be actually dealing with a ship where you're having to board and tow it. And I think in that particular context, a fire exercise aboard another ship which you've got to eventually tow is, of course, the best exercise to bring up the ship's organisation and everything else.
This is their job, isn't it? To see how far they can push us. I think that's what Portland's all about, to see how far you can be pushed.
It is hard work. Not everybody is employed all the time. Certainly they start very early. Mostly they get up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, because most ships don't actually get back into harbour until about 1 o'clock the following morning. So they are very long hours indeed. Hard work, but I would have thought they were very rewarding times. It is one of the few places where you can fire the guns, the facilities are here, the targets, the submarines, the aircraft, and they are really fulfilling their proper job in life, showing their expertise and their specialist duties which they possess. I think people coming here will see a vast number of ships. We deal with anybody and everybody, principally the Dutch and Germans, and anybody else who buys a ship in Britain automatically gets this facility. We've worked up Thailanders, Libyans, Venezuelans, and a whole host of others, almost without number.
Hold it! Hold it!
It's a tremendous challenge. I may well be speaking from an officer's point of view, and I think perhaps for a large number of men on board need more motivation than that. But certainly the wardroom, and I think most of the senior rates, would think, okay, here's something we can do, let's get stuck in and do it.
The general feeling before you get here, everybody hates it, you know, they don't want to know. But when you get here, you start moving as a team and people fall into line.
While they're here, we try to teach ships to use the correct drill, with the feeling that when they get the drill perfect, the lower times come automatically. And so we don't increase the danger by trying to get men racing against the second hand. They're trying to do the drill correctly.
Necessarily, we on the FOST staff have a critical approach, because we are looking at the work that's going on. If it's not fully efficient, then obviously we must criticize. And because one has a critical approach, inevitably there are some occasions where ourselves, staff, and the ship's officers and ship's company as a whole tend to rub together the wrong way.
(8:30 to 11:30) MBCD check. Now, will you be involved in that, or will it only be the MBCDA? 10 to 1500 Distex. Now, I think, Keith, you better fill us in on this.
Well, what's virtually happening is that the whole ship will be involved in this one. There'll be nothing that will take priority over it.
The Distex, of course, is something totally different. It's given in mid-term, halfway through the workup, when people have spent a long time shooting, doing all the other exercises at sea, in the confine of the ship. And it's rather nice pleasant to get out in many ways and go and have a jamboree ashore. And that is one particular exercise which, if it is approached with great enthusiasm, everyone does enjoy, the staff and the ships.
Heavy! Again! Heavy! Again! Oh, bastard!
Sure HQ, this is... Sure HQ.
Roger, that's there. That's the one they're about to blow. 4 children. 4 children dropping back to the racket partner is supposed to. Right, so they're going in, so I can't get any okay on that.
I think they go to extremes. We do things that would normally never happen. They kill everybody off and then leave one man, or they send them away, leave one man to do somebody else's job, which is just never happening that way.
Are those dead, those two?
Internal injuries? That one's dead.
Verified. The children are now free and have been returned to their mother. The Lord Mayor, God bless his cotton socks, has reverted to being a naffy truck driver. I will seek a release signature from some other person.
We go to look at it from the MBCD side of the world, and we're looking then to see whether the chaps are reacting correctly, they're using the correct instruments, the correct things, and taking the correct routines which are laid down.
Switch on pre-wetting. Switch on pre-wetting.
To cover this, what we do is we check the outside of the ship, and any openings, any of the openings that have not completely tightened down, we then put a gas stick around that opening. And one of the MBCDIs goes around all these various openings so as to try and get gas into the ship. If the ship is correctly closed down and with the correct citadel, you get no gas in the ship. It's normal CS gas.
Leicester agent, sir. Captain, sir, this is the NBC protection officer. The chemical being used is a blister agent. Request permission to monitor the citadel. Roger, sir.
MBCD is well below the standard we would have expected for this stage, sir. I believe this stems from poor leadership in the middle management levels. Section leaders are not taking charge, and the general standard and leadership of the petty officers and leading hands is poor. The captain is aware of this, sir, and I'll discuss it with him more fully tomorrow.
Bombardment. Serial 347, that looks fine. Areas are clear. Tartar Optrum, over.
Optrum, Tartar, over.
Tartar Optrum, a reference your last, approved.
And we have a fleet standard, which is 16 rounds per gun. So that sailor's got to be up to 16 rounds a minute. Invariably, when they come to Portland, they can't do this. I mean, there are frightening things. There's pumps all roar away, and the smell of the core, the noise of the hoists and the shaking around. It unnerves the sailors.
In general, sir, the ship has not maintained the progress that I expected, and I think is in danger of losing the impetus. The operations room, the presentation to command is still poor, and the overall coordination is very weak indeed. I think so I'm more concerned about the internal organization of the ship, which is weak, it always has been, and despite the advice we've given her. This resulted in poor preparation for some of the serials, and we're suffering because of it.
What more can we do to help her next week?
Roger. Engage with mortar. SC controlling. Urgent attack. C controlling.
Bearing moving slowly right. 105.
A lot of the ships which we have at Portland carry a marine detachment, and the Royal Marines in fact form the mortar's crew. Although they have had training on a shore system, there is nothing like the real thing of firing an action projectile weighing 390 odd pounds, carrying 207 pounds of explosive. There's quite a lot of bang.
Range rate changed at 10 closing. In the brackets.
Roger. Engage with mortar. SC controlling. Urgent attack.
Reload! Take that ready!
you're going to turn to starboard, aren't you? So I'll take him round ahead of the ship now. Right, ahead. See the aircraft? Well, look for it, lad.
They've indicated blind.
C-cut radar, confirmed PTA.
Check safety, bearing at 265, clear visual launch operating. Oscar bearing for 190, sir.
You're locked on, are you?
Roger.
C-cut, shoot!
To sum up, sir, the gunnery department has overcome the problems of foul range and cancelled serials. The department is well led by an officer who is well familiar with his duties.
Well, it's nice to hear a good result. Well, I should be going on board. I think it's on Tuesday next week.
Every week we have what we call a mini war, which all the ships here are involved in. The final, what you might term war, comes from the day of the ship's inspection, where she goes out, takes command of all the other ships who are here, fights this particular weekly war, as we call it, and ends up the whole day at action stations with the Admiral on board and a full group of staff.
Fine. Can I use your chair? Yes, please, sir.
At the end of that period, the Admiral then assesses with his staff the potential of the ship and tells the captain of the ship's company accordingly.
Because we've drifted slightly whilst we've been waiting here. So the ship's head is now 020. I'll come slowly around to the track and we should regain track doing that.
Okay, and that one's drawn on the PPI, is it?
It's on the PPI, sir.
Okay, where you go then?
Captain, sir, we are to port of track approximately 3/4 of a cable. I should like to come ahead at 8 knots. The ship's head is at the moment 020. I'd like to come slowly round to port to the first course of 339. This should help us regain track, sir. The North Ship Channel looks clear by radar. Depth now 7 fathoms by echo sounder. This ties in with the chart.
Do you have the 2 small beds that have been reported by the forecastle?
At green 60 and green 70, sir. They're tracking right.
Very good.
Channel outside looks clear right ahead, sir. There's a lot of ship and small boats too on our port bow. None of them appear to be affecting us at present, sir.
Very good.
She'll be approaching the entrance now, sir. I'm happy with our position. We're going through the entrance now, sir. It looks clear right ahead, sir.
Okay, that wasn't
Right.
bad, actually. Now, very briefly, quick points. The SCR must give you left and right cut-offs, not just the centre bearing of the exit, all right?
Roger.
In addition, of course, to the tactical serials, there are thrown in internally a series of NBC DXs. So no sooner does one think one has got one's gun ready to fire than, of course, someone knocks off the power supplies and you've got to go back to square one.
Main steam failure, main steam failure, main steam failure.
A whole series of wobblers like that are thrown in which thoroughly test every facet of the ship's organisation.
Engine room, diesel board.
Diesel board, main board, nothing solicited here.
Right, we're going to put supplies up to H2 section of the board.
Roger. Interconnector made.
Will you take up your electrically operated breaker for boiler room auxiliaries on H2 section?
Roger. It's made.
Boiler, put the auxiliary circuit on, will you? Boiler room, Roger. Main board, diesel board.
Main board.
Have you got that up? Have you closed that breaker?
It is closed.
Open J supply breaker.
Roger. Supply breaker open.
The purpose of Portland really is to weld the team. It's the first time that we ever see the ships themselves come together with their ship's company, so man and material arrive together for the first time in that particular ship. Most of them know their jobs and how to do it, but they work as individuals. What we do is we polish up their individual skills and then weld them into a team.
Portland is not an end, it's a beginning. When a ship leaves Alpha Head for the last time, it's the beginning of her operational program. A time for which, as a result of Portland, she is now better able to meet any situation which may be thrown at her. And we hope that as a result of her experience at Portland, she will want to come back.
Sound one for long blast.
That's absolutely splendid. We've got a VSAT.
Good God. That's bloody marvellous.
Yes. Would you make a pipe to the ship's company, number one? Apollo has today completed a very satisfactory workup from FOST, and from the captain, well done.
Well, that'll cheer him up, Professor.
Very good. Well done, everybody. VSAT.
Dehere, First Lieutenant speaking. The captain has just asked me to read out the signal we have received from FOST, and